What's up, guys? I wanted to review a movie I just checked out last night called Bloodfest, put out by Cinedigm and Rooster Teeth. And forgive me for not doing my research beforehand, but I'm not exactly sure who Rooster Teeth is. I know I've heard of it. I think it may be something on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure, though. But they obviously are big horror fans because this movie, off rip, is a big homage to just horror in general. And you could tell the creators of this thing really do dig horror in general. But the story pretty much is these kids. This one dude, his kid, his mother died from a killer who was watched too many horror movies, and it, pretty much drove the dude to kill, and that's how the mother died. So the kid's father, played by Tate Donovan pretty well, who I recognize from a show called Damages with Glenn Close, but he's been in a bunch of other stuff. I just don't remember off the top of my head what else. But he doesn't want his son going to this like Bloodfest, which is this big basically like Halloween Horror Nights or something like that. He doesn't want his son going to it because he thinks horror is bad, blah blah blah. Pretty much what everyone thought in the 80s and stuff, but he obviously ends up disobeying. He ends up going with his homies to the Bloodfest, and right when they get to the Bloodfest, this isn't a spoiler because it happens within the first 15 minutes. The head guy of this fest, I'm not really sure his name. I think it's the director. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's the guy behind it all. But he pretty much announces that you have to be a huge horror fan to survive the night here. And, there's these, people in pig masks with chainsaws, a straight up homage to Hostel. They start going in the audience and killing everybody, and there's very few people survive. And he basically says, if you follow the rules of horror movies, you'll survive this event. And another person in the group, because there's this fat Asian dude who's one of his homies who's with him, who's like a hacker and all that, and then there's this girl who just one of his homies too, and then there's this dude who's plays like a Kane Hodder type person, just a legend in the horror world, and who's famous for a fake movie called The Arborist or something, and he's along with the group. But unlike Kane Hodder, he's actually not a big horror fan and stuff in the movie, where Kane Hodder is a big horror fan, but he's that kind of character, just a cult horror icon that they're chilling with. And they get put into certain things. There's a huge rip-off of Saw in one of the levels they have to go through. There's zombies, there's a clown level, there's just all these different stages as far as this Bloodfest goes. And I'll leave it at that. There's a twist ending that caught me off guard, but it's essentially you've seen this story before. It's pretty much like a Cabin in the Woods. This would be a really good double feature with Cabin in the Woods because it's super meta. You see the obvious influences, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I'll say what I like and what I don't like about this. What I do like is obviously the homages to Hostel and Saw and all that. I really dug the cinematography. When you first see the Bloodfest sign, the camera kind of goes up and over the park and all that, and it looks really well done. I thought the just the production value in general was a lot better than I thought it would be, just because I literally saw this in Walmart, and it was a complete blind buy. I just picked it up just because I liked the name, and I figured why not. It sounded pretty cool, but the back of it kind of looks kind of cheap a little bit, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. But Dread Central does say the party horror film of the year, so it does have that going for it. Now, but like I said, it is a pretty fun movie. I like the cinematography. There wasn't a whole lot of gore or enough that I would like for a movie like this. It was just kind of whatever. But it was fun. If you're a big horror fan, you're gonna like this more than the normal person would. If you're not a big horror fan, you're not gonna get all the in jokes, and you're not gonna dig it as much. And there's even a cool Halloween reference to the Mark of Thorn in this that goes with the Arborist guy, which when you see it, you've seen the Halloween movies, you'll pretty much get it. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. It was an okay movie. Now, I watched this the day after watching Hellfest, or 2 days after watching Hellfest, and people are comparing the two. They came out the same time. They both have Fest in the name. people are comparing them. A lot of people say they like Bloodfest better, but me personally, I liked Hellfest better. It was just more straightforward slasher. I just dug it more. This one was more goofy. It had a lot more comedic elements. I'm not a big fan of like kids going and doing something like almost like Cabin in the Woods that were adults, but this is like kids. I'm just not. I'm getting burnt out from it, from like Stranger Things and It and all this stuff. I'm just getting burnt out from it, but I thought this was okay. It was definitely worth the $12 or whatever I paid for it at Wally World for a blind buy. It has some replay value. I'll watch it again eventually, but I do think Hellfest is the better Fest movie to come out this year for October. But if you liked Hellfest and you just want another fun Halloween feeling movie, and this is definitely worth a pickup because this feels like how like Halloween Horror Nights or something like that would be. It would be a perfect double feature with Hellfest. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, the video looked really good. The Blu-ray. It does have a commentary. I did listen to a little bit of the commentary, and it was pretty informative. I had all the cast, and it was a pretty well done commentary from what I heard. It has the visual effects breakdown, Gus Fest, slash scenes, and a filmmaker's commentary, like I just said. So yeah, that's about it. You know, pretty straightforward. It has a little insert inside for Rooster Teeth's other stuff here, but it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. You can find it at Walmart now. So yeah, that is what it is. Bloodfest 2018. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.